Hi, this is Michelle Thompson. Again, I am so happy to give you my brown bag lunch, and it's for academics. And this is on how to use your summers effectively. As you know, I am a legal and academic coach. And, one of the things that people really envy about people in academia is that we have these 3 months off. And that can be a blessing and a curse for those of us who are employed as part-time professors. It's a bit of a curse because if we don't have work, we don't actually earn money. But there are other reasons why it can come across that way as well. So let's jump in here to ways to make the most of your summer months. We hear summer and we think, oh my goodness, we have so much time. There's just so much time. And wow, right? It's like a whole bunch, it's like 3 months. It's like a ton of time, right? And here's the thing. It's actually not that much time, right? If you really think about it, it's a semester. It's just another semester. And it doesn't actually work to treat it as anything more than just that, a semester. So, excuse me, I'm having problems with my computer and getting that up and running. If you think of it more like a semester, it actually helps you take the pressure off of the summer months, right? So let me start here. Karen Kelsky of The Professor Is In does lots of great work with academics. Actually encourages everybody to have a 5-year plan, and I think everybody should do that. It doesn't matter what your field is, but you want a plan of where you're going and how you're going to get there over the next 5 years, right? So if you have that 5-year work plan, whip it out, figure out what you have actually planned for the summer, and go ahead and plug that into your calendar, and you're done. And you can listen because you want to think about how to add some more things into your calendar, and that's great. But that's really helpful. That gives you a leg up. Chances are, though, that you don't have that plan, and that's where you get sucked in by all of that time, which isn't that much, right? So what that plan looks like depends on where you are. If you're a graduate student, your 5-year plan looks one way. If you are tenure track, it looks a different way. If you are a part-time professor, an adjunct professor, it's a whole other thing. And if you are tenured, it's a different thing, right? So you will modify your plan based on where you are in the process, but it's invaluable. And you should just take the first week of your summer. Yeah, go get your calendar right now and block out the first week of your summer vacation and block out that time right now. Right now, just block out a week where you're actually going to work on figuring out what you're going to be doing over the next 5 years. Once you do that, now we have 3 different categories that we have to wrestle with over the summer. And part of why academics get so excited about it is because, oh my goodness, I could do all of this research and writing. Woo! Yes, I'll write the book. Whoever wrote a book in 3 months? Whoever wrote a book in a semester? No, that's not going to happen, right? And it's the research and writing that tends to get a little bit crazy over this period of time. So that's why it's useful to have a plan, right? So now you have a sober assessment of what's actually possible, and it doesn't mean that you won't get anything done. It does mean that if you already haven't handed the book, if you haven't already handed the draft of the book to the publisher, you're not finishing the book this summer. That's all I'm saying, right? You're not going to write your dissertation over the summer if you've written 1 chapter. Just not going to happen. It takes more than that to finish those big projects, but you can make serious what's the word I'm looking for, moves towards finishing your goal, right? So let's say you decided you're going to draft an article or draft chapter 3 of whatever it is you're working on. You're going to have to subdivide it in tasks. And I have a series on planning that I've put up, and you can look at those videos to get a sense of how to take a bigger task and move it into smaller tasks, right? So maybe your tasks are, I need to come up with an argument. I need to look through all of my evidence and do a write-up so I actually have a sense of what I'm trying to do here. Maybe I need to do an outline, and I will start to write at the rate of 2 pages a day, right? Now you have a sense of what you can actually accomplish by the time you get to August. I know it's not that far away, August. You also have to take into account your stamina, right? I know personally I can't do this kind of writing for more than 4 hours a day. I'm fried after 4 hours. And if I'm fried at the end of a writing session, I'm not going to write tomorrow. If I write, it's going to be like very, very little, and I will spend a lot of time checking my Facebook feed. That's not helpful, right? My suspicion is that you have your own limits, right? Maybe it's 2 hours, maybe it's 5, but don't plan on writing more than that. You can also plan to do writing on more than one project. You don't have to be stuck to that one thing, and you're going to have to take that into account, right? And I know it can be easier if you're writing, if I spend the first hour working on X, I'll spend the second hour working on Y. And that actually could include grant proposals or job letters or whatever it is, right? Maybe it's your academic statement. You pick that as, but you can plan in time to work on multiple projects over the summer. It doesn't have to be one, right? Do you really plan on taking no downtime over the summer? You're going nowhere? Or maybe you can plan in a staycation, right? Because we'll get there in a minute. But make sure you have slot time so you can do things like take some downtime off. Maybe you get sick for a week. You want to have that planned into your schedule. You get the point. The key to accomplishing the writing and research you want to do is to have a plan. A plan. Wouldn't it be nice to have someone who can keep you honest with your plan? That is actually what I talked about this past week, yesterday actually, in my planning video, right? Who do you want to send your plan to so they can keep track of it alongside you as long as you're doing it? Could it be a writing partner, a colleague? Could you check in with each other at the beginning and end of each week so that you know what you're up to and where you're trying to go? We tend to do better if there are people who are actually keeping track of us, and we're not the only ones, right? So there's that. There's self-care. I applied this when I was talking about writing. It's summer. You can take a vacation, for crying out loud. Plan some downtime for yourself. That's all I'm saying. Maybe you don't have the money to go out of town. That's fine. It might look like you may have to do nothing more than watch TV. Oh, that's not so bad, is it? Or go around where you live and have a picnic in a park, right? Maybe you're just going to read and borrow books from the library. I don't know. Maybe it's a particular day for a massage or a mani-pedi to treat yourself. But you should definitely plan downtime into your summer. You don't want to it's all work and no play is absolutely no fun. Maybe you have bigger goals than this and you have some big old fat juicy trip planned that is not about research, right? I've certainly had those and it's great. And don't do any work during those trips at all. Try to schedule your summer so that you can leave this stuff at home where it belongs, right? Take time away from your project, in part because when you get back, your mind will be fresh and you'll see the project anew. But maybe self-care for you is not the drama of a big old trip. Maybe it is actually just getting some sleep for a change, right? 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. Does that sound like dreamland? It's essential that you do this, right? It's critical to health and well-being. Arianna Huffington has been talking about how many diseases could probably be prevented if you got enough sleep, including Alzheimer's, right? Regardless of your plan, make this a priority. You can put this in your calendar. I'm done working at 9. I'm going to be in bed by 10:30 or 11 o'clock, right? Or if you're a night owl, everything will be shifted later. But build that into your schedule. It's really, really important that you do that. It may actually also mean eating well, right? Not just ordering whatever from your neighborhood restaurant. Maybe you want to learn how to cook something really lovely. Maybe you want to go and order something from one of those online food services like Blue Apron that does the shopping for you and has the perfect portion size, etc. But you wanted to use this time also to develop the kinds of habits that you could use over the course of the semester, right? You want to build that into your daily schedule as well. That's why you're not going to be writing 8 hours a day. You're going to do other things. Exercise. Fabulous. Let's try to do that over our summers too, right? You can, while the sun is up for so long and it's so warm, go for a run, take a nice long walks, build this into your daily schedule. Maybe you need to build it in at 1 in the afternoon when you're fried. That's a great time to do that. Go grab something go take something to eat with you, sit somewhere, eat, and walk back. Maybe you should try to do that yoga class you always wanted to do, or whatever it is. But this is a time to go ahead and do this kind of things. You want, again, it's not about getting the work done, but setting up the kinds of habits that allow you to reset even during the academic year, right? And during the year, it's going to look different, right? You might have to go to the gym instead of go outside, and you're going to have to do that at some funky time that you ideally wouldn't, but that's where you start and go ahead and do it. You're going to you might have to move all of your cooking for the week to the weekends, and like you'll do it all on Sunday. That's fine, but start to get in the habit of doing it now. The final peg of using your summers well is planning the following semester. I know you just finished. And if you're a student, you may have just taken exams or just handed in a chapter. And if you actually teach, you just finished grading. I am not finished until next week, and then I have to do all of that, right? Yeah, you don't want to leave it to the last minute. If you have a new prep in the fall, maybe you need to actually do some reading and kind of think through what you're offering students. Don't leave it to the last minute. You don't have to do this on August 1st. Scatter it in the middle of June and July. Why not? It'll take pressure off of the beginning of the school year. You know, after finals finish, write down what went well for you at the end of the semester and what you would change, right? And around mid-July, latest, start thinking through your next semester with those suggestions in mind. You can make the next semester go better for yourself, right? If you're teaching, start your syllabi then. Why wait until the last minute and ruin August, right? Do you want more time to hang out with your colleagues and chat? Plan it. You can plan it into your fall, and you can do that during the summer, right? Put in your calendar your days off in the fall. Take, Columbus Day, fall break, if you're lucky. We don't get that in the CUNY system. Put in your new exercise routine, especially because you probably know your classes already. Put that in there. Now you can figure out when you're going to write in the fall, and you're not all stressed out because you get to the fall and it's already sitting there in your calendar, and you'll go, got this, right? If you start in mid-July, you can take a month to do the planning, and by the time the school year starts, you're going to be fine. This is a lot, but using the summer well is so important, and it can really set things up for how you're going to do over the year. And that's all we really want. We want to have the research and writing, the teaching, and the self-care that we really need to survive this well, not just drag ourselves through it, but to come out of it being proud of ourselves and moving on. So that's my tip for handling the summer vacation. It's only a semester. It's not more than that. And if you use it that way, you won't be disappointed with it. All right. I will have other writing tips up over the summer once a month. Not writing tips. I'll do other brown bag lunches, these virtual brown bag lunches over the summer. Look forward to seeing them. Please like my page if you haven't liked it already. On the lower left side, if you scroll down, you can sign up for my newsletter for academics. Just click right there and put your name in, and you won't miss a beat. I will be doing writing tips throughout the summer. You can expect them Friday afternoons. And I think that's it. If you keep an eye out for a new offering I'm coming up with for academics, my tribe of academic warriors, and it's for women who are in academia, so you can get that extra boost you need to accomplish both your personal and professional goals. I would be delighted to help you with that. Keep an eye out for it, and I'll make a big old stinky announcement when it's done. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.